Hey, spring break has just begun and I have nothing to do! What's up, it's a culture detective here investigating your favorite albums, and today I'm going to be doing an album review on the new Kikuo album, Kikuomiku 7, or Kikuomiku7. So this is an album that I've been wanting to review for a while because I listened to it a few days ago and I think I freaking fell in love with it. I think it's a pretty damn good album. So Japanese Vocaloid producer Kikuo has released the 7th installment in his well-known long-running series with Vocaloid artist Hatsune Miku, who is a bit of a legend in the world of Vocaloid at this point. And he is really well known for writing songs with edgy, dark, disturbing lyrics and then cover it up with bright, peppy, catchy J-pop goodness. For instance, the song Aishite, 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 which is also one of the most iconic songs in the Vocaloid scene, and I think it's a fantastic song as well. Equal parts fantastic and catchy, equal parts messed up and twisted. Anyways, before Kikuomiku 7, he took a bit of a hiatus and has returned with this new album. And given that the lyrics seem a little bit more hopeful and positive, a lot of people speculated that the guy had therapy before making this album, and also not just any kinds of therapy, but perhaps he had gone through some sort of Buddhist or Hinduist enlightenment, because lyrically on this album he makes a lot of allusions to Hinduist beliefs and Buddhist beliefs, which is very interesting. On top of that, the vocals on this album are even better. Hatsune Miku, as well as the other Vocaloid artist Chi Swan, sounds breathier and softer on this album than ever, which gives this album a cloudy, fluffy vibe, which I really love. So, damn, what an interesting album cover, what an interesting album. The album starts off with a 39-second long intro called Futatsu no Mokuba, which means 2 wooden horses, and it has some circusy melodies and smooth Vocaloid vocals, and it transitions into the first core track, Iiko to Yoko, or a good kid with a fox spirit. And right off the bat, we have bright synths and bells, riveting hi-hats and scratching tones. The song essentially takes your average Japanese traditional folk chord progression and then mash it with some bright, poppy, girly essence. This track is incredibly catchy and refreshing as an album opener. The second track, Mi Mizu Yuyu, follows a pretty basic J-pop formula. The instrumentals are a little bit less impressive than other tracks on the track list, and this track is a little brief. I think it ended a little weak. However, the next few tracks are all freaking amazing. Especially we have Mitsukanai Mitsukanai, which means missing. The breathy vocals work so well on this track to create this vulnerable, hazy vibe. And then on top of that, we get the crunchy, watery percussion, the 6/8 time signature, and the kaleidoscopic, dreamy chord progressions. It's bright and enchanting. And then lyrically, we have the childlike lyrics with the simple wordings, but at the same time it gives off a strong sense of anxiety and panic. It's really catchy, really interesting, a little bit edgy, and definitely one of my favorite songs of the year so far. Following that, we have My Time, and it is actually a cover of a song of the same name by Bo-en. And it basically takes the jazzy, swingy original track and make it even more sugary and demented. The slowdown before the beat drop is amazing, and the beat drop itself is absolutely colorful and vibrant. When I heard the beat drop, I felt like somebody punched me in the gut. It's absolutely exhilarating and insane. It's like I'm speeding through a tunnel throughout all time and space. It's absolutely amazing, and I love it. Following that, we have Kaeru no Odori, which means dance of frogs, and Kaeru means frogs, but it also means, to return home. And then on top of that, we have the tribal clanging drums, and right off the bat, this track already sounds more like a Buddhist hymn than a Vocaloid pop banger. We have lyrics about the body and the spirit and its relationship with the universe, and even though this track doesn't sound all that great or catchy, I definitely love the concept. Following that, we have Sowaaka no Koe, or Voices of Svaahaa, which is a Hinduist concept. This track is a spellbinding, exciting track with bright vocals and these mumbly chants. It's almost like Hatsune Miku, or was it Hatsune Miku who's featured on this track? I think it is her. Yeah, it is her. It sounds like Hatsune Miku has converted to Hinduism and is now chanting and mumbling Sanskrit, except instead of Sanskrit, it's actually Japanese. And the clanging metallic beats and the flutes and the lyrics about reincarnation and decomposition and rebirth, it's so freaking cool. I really, really absolutely love it when I see different styles of music, especially one that is more bright and modern and mainstream mixed with something much more tribal, much more grounded and cultural, maybe with a religious twist. It's always so damn interesting and I absolutely love it. Then we have Funkai Mori no Naka de, or In the Middle of the Deep Forest, which is a dreamy, foggy, mid-paced tracks with thick layers of sleigh bells and swirly keyboards. And then following that, we have Kirai 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 te, which means I hate you, or hate you, but, or hate it, but. And it's great to see that Kikuo's edginess still retains with this distorted, buzzing banger. We have lyrics, I assume, written in the perspective of an alien who looks down upon human beings on Earth. I hate you all because you all are despicable animals. It's so blissful yet deranged, especially with the bright chorus, Kirai, Kirai, Kirai. It's just crazy. And then after that, we have Knife, Knife, Knife. The title is actually 3 knife emojis, but if you read it out, it would be Naihu, Naihu, Naihu. And essentially on this track, Hatsune Miku rants about the burdens of modern life with paying taxes and all that shit. The instrumentals are really noisy and distorted, and I like that, but it just doesn't have the punchy, refreshing style that I really like the other tracks for. Finally, the album ends off with Yutai Ritatsu, which means astral travel, or I think literally it means spiritual escape, and it is a groovy, summery disco banger. It's incredibly catchy and instrumentally light, and I really like albums that do that, where a bulk of the album is very dense and noisy, and then it just ends off something lighter and simpler. It's very catchy and groovy. I love the funky bass. I love Hatsune Miku's soft vocals. And there is probably a dark double meaning to this track, like maybe, to astral travel is also to the desire to visit the afterlife, wanting to die, but in a pretty way. But even so, I think this is a fantastic album ending. And this album is currently one of the most interesting listens I've had all year. It's really interesting. I was not a Vocaloid fan. I listened to some Vocaloid before this album, but I wasn't really a huge fan until this album. This album is truly fantastic, and it's very interesting. Give it a listen. Yes, I'm giving the new Kikuomiku 7 a decent 8 out of 10. So have you listened to the new Kikuomiku? Comments below, let me know. Subscribe if you want more. Thanks for watching.